Stuart Ross again. In this video series, we're learning about the digital life, where people are becoming freedom entrepreneurs by launching and building their own businesses online, usually around their current day job, so that they can soon start living a life with uncapped income, tripling or more the amount of free time they have each day, and having the ability, just like I do, to run their businesses from wherever they are. Now, one of the main driving factors behind this trend is the fact that people are finally starting to realise just how valuable their lives are and how valuable their time is. They want to get out of the rat race and into the lifestyle that they want and stop working to build someone else's dream and start building their own. And with today's rapidly growing digital economy and the tremendous amount of opportunity it brings, this has all been made very possible like no other time before. In this second video, I'm going to be walking you through how I grew my first online income stream around my job, working part-time, including the types of products I was selling and how I was able to start right away. I'll also share with you the one key skill I had to learn in order to actually make sales of these products, and I'm going to share with you exactly what my biggest profit breakthrough was that worked so well that I was able to walk away from my job as a real estate agent within 6 months and go on to make close to $500,000 in commissions that first year, and really take the time to begin working on building my absolute ultimate dream lifestyle. Now, make sure you've got something to take notes with so that you can capture the steps that make sense to you and that you can implement in order to start or grow your business and create the life that you really want. So in just a moment, I want to go back to 2007 because this part of my story where I got myself into over 20 grand of debt and miserably ended up walking away from my first business attempt is extremely relevant to how I ended up discovering this lifestyle business model that eventually not only got me out of my job, but most importantly showed me a couple of things not to do if I wanted something that I could realistically start part-time and without having to be on the phone or in meetings or selling all day. And whilst I don't want to sound like a broken record, it's important that you listen carefully, as there's a couple of insights that will be game-changing for you if you really, truly get them. So it had just gone 10 AM on a Sunday morning back in March 2007, and it was my first day off in 12 days, and I was just happy to be lying in bed doing absolutely nothing when I got a call from my boss. Stuart, I know it's your day off today, but I need you to go into the office. Phil has just let me know that he can't make it in today as he isn't feeling very well. To which I said, look, to be honest, Mark, I've just worked the past 12 days in a row. I could really do with today off. I'm feeling exhausted. Can we just see if, one of the other guys is available to cover? To which he said, no, we can't. Your management, Stuart, I haven't got time to be ringing around. The office needs to be open. It should have been open by now. So you need to head in and open up. Let me know when you're in. All right, I'll head in. That whole day I sat at my desk totally pissed off, knowing that I was in work because the guy who was meant to be in was probably hungover from his partying the night before. And whilst I'm not against a good old party, I am against it when it means I need to go into the office on my day off to cover. Anyway, I remember that day I literally did not move from my desk for hours as I was sat online searching for opportunities, looking for an opportunity to get me out of my job and into a place of more control and freedom. Didn't have a clue what I was looking for, but I did come across one article that caught my eye at the time, which was about franchising and how a reputable franchise was 80% more likely to succeed than a new business idea that hadn't been proven or somebody's first business attempt. And a lot of what I read just made sense, and I was intrigued by the idea. So on my way home, I pulled into the local convenience store. I grabbed 2 of the magazines about franchising, and they had many franchises in there that were for sale. And I remember that I sat at home that night, flicking through the pages from page to page, mainly disappointed and shocked with just how expensive they all were. I mean, many of them were into the hundreds of thousands, which was totally out of reach for me. And the ones that I thought I might have been able to get a loan for and start were in industries that didn't appeal to me at all, like cleaning services, car washing. And I even saw a dog poop cleaning franchise where you offered to go to people's homes and pick up their dog poop, people who were too pooped to scoop, which was kind of how I was feeling about life at that time, pretty pooped. Anyway, it's fair to say none of those really appealed to me. And to be honest, I was just about to give up, but then whilst doing some research, this time on my laptop in bed, hunched over in a very awkward position, no good for my posture at all, I don't recommend it. I came across an internet opportunity franchise. It was £12,000, about $20,000, and it seemed like a decent opportunity to me. Now, the business model was basically about helping local businesses in your area advertise their services online by offering them a spot on an online directory website. And as the franchisee, your job was to reach out to the local businesses and sell them the benefits of being featured on the directory, which basically came down to them being found via the search engines when people in their area searched for whatever it was that they offered. So for example, if someone searched Reading plumber, Reading was the town I lived in at the time, then essentially what you do is help them get found in the search engines. So anyway, it seemed like a great opportunity, and my next step was to find the money, which when you're living paycheck to paycheck isn't very easy. So I went to the bank to get a business loan. They wouldn't give it to me, but they did offer me a personal loan for half the money. And so I took that, and then I managed to borrow the other half from my dad after spending a few days convincing him that I'd be a great success and pay him back nice and quickly. So after arranging the money, I also managed to arrange to go down to just 3 days a week at my job. Obviously I took a hit on my salary and my commissions, but I knew I needed the time to get behind the business and build it. And my boss seemed pretty happy about it, because at the time the estate agency business was struggling with the housing market slowing down and with all the doom and gloom at the time. Within a week of paying over the money for the business, the franchise, I was all set up. I'd spent a weekend in training and I was ready to go out and make it happen. But here's what happened. The first thing was that I realized how much I sucked at cold calling. Not only did I suck at it, but I hated it. Being rejected time and time again really knocked my confidence, and to be honest, even though I thought I could get used to it, maybe even good at it, I didn't want to. I didn't want to get used to something that I hated doing. I mean, it kind of felt like banging my head against a brick wall, and you could probably get used to that, but heck, I wouldn't want to get used to that either. And thinking about it, I just think too many people justify doing things that they hate, like commuting on busy trains or sitting in traffic all the time, doing a job that they don't even enjoy or they're passionate about just to pay the bills, because they can get used to it. But that isn't and wasn't the life for me. The other thing that I realized was that even if I did get the business up and running successfully, it was still going to hold me down to two things that I wanted free from. The first being tied geographically to one location. Whilst a lot of the initial selling, was done over the phone with the businesses, most of the business owners wanted to meet with me in person to sign the actual advertising contract. The second thing was that it was incredibly labor intensive on a daily basis. The few contracts that I did get, which were worth just a few hundred a year, the business owners expected magic. They wanted instant results, and if they didn't get them, they'd either cancel, which would mean I'd have to frantically work to replace them. It was making me very stressed. Or it would require a lot of my time to convince them to stay. All things that I didn't want to be dealing with every day. And after almost 6 months of trying, with virtually no profits, because all the money that I was making went on the monthly license fee for the franchise, and having lost so much confidence and a lot of self-esteem, I decided to pack it in and walk away with £12,000 more in debt, nothing to show for it, and I felt like an utter failure. And telling my family killed me, especially as the advice from so many of them in the first place was to stick to my career, my safe, secure job as an estate agent. Now, fortunately, I did manage to go back to my full-time job again. The market had picked up a little bit at the end of 2007, and I wanted to attempt to get myself back on track. But the reality is, a couple of months later, I had even more of a burning desire than ever before to find something better. And I'm sure you can maybe relate, where you just know that there's a feeling that there's something better out there for you, and what you're doing just won't do. So anyway, this is the important part of everything that I'm telling you. Around that December, and we're still talking 2007 here, I decided to start looking again. And this time a lot clearer about what I wanted, or just as importantly, didn't want, such as I didn't want to do cold calling, I didn't want to do personal selling, really any phone stuff at all. I didn't want to be tied to a particular city or location, and nothing that would be too labor intensive in a way that I'd have to do loads of work for each and every single customer every day. And I think it actually sounds funny thinking about it now, but I was on Google searching things like business opportunities without selling. But it was by searching this way that I actually ended up finding a business model that worked for me. And I didn't end up going down another rabbit hole that would lead me to another failed business attempt, or possibly even worse, building a business that ended up being successful, but I was trapped in, like so many business owners feel. Now, one of the ebooks I came across was a book called Never Cold Call, and it was by some guy called Frank, if I remember correctly. Can't remember how much I paid for it, but I ended up buying it and reading it straight through. It made a lot of sense, but the thing is it was a book for people that were in business already, that had a product or service to sell, which of course now I didn't. But he did speak a lot of sense, and what I liked was he was talking about setting up automated systems online to do all of the selling of your product or service, and in a way that was future-proof and that was actually pleasant in the experience for your prospects and customers, and could work 24/7, 365 days a year, not like cold calling and hassling people that want to just scream at you all day. But anyway, like I said, it made a lot of sense to me. I still had nothing to sell until I came across another guy called Brad, and this guy had an ebook that promised to reveal a business model that you can get very rich with without having to create a product, offer a service, employ any staff, have an office, or even fulfill on anything. And you quite simply collect a commission check for making referrals to people's websites and offers. And to be honest with you, it just sounded too good to be true. And it wasn't helped by the fact that the cover of this ebook had big gold dollar signs all over it. It came across and looked very get-rich-quick in its design. But it was only $97, so I thought, do you know what the heck, I'll give it a go. He offered a 30-day or 60-day money-back guarantee, something like that. And I thought, if it doesn't make any sense, I'll just get my money back. Suspending my disbelief for just a moment and purchasing that ebook literally changed my destiny forever. That decision to just be a little bit inquisitive for just a moment changed everything, and it set me off in a new direction that I most likely would have never discovered. I mean, since then I've generated millions in commissions online and grown a multi-million-dollar company of my own that is now changing lives all around the world. And that's what I want to say to you. Sometimes, even if something sounds a little bit too good to be true, if something inside you intuitively calls you to be inquisitive, it's my advice that you follow your gut and at least find out more, as you just don't know what you don't know, and that thing that you don't know may well be a game changer, just like it was for me. So what exactly did I learn from Brad's book that was so game-changing and so life-changing? Well, quite simply, it was about the business model of affiliate marketing, something that I did briefly touch on in the first video, where you can get paid for referring a customer online to somebody's product. And when you make that referral, in other words, someone goes to a website, makes a purchase on the website you've referred them to, you get a commission for that referral, and it's usually up to about 50% of the product price. And in plain English, what does this mean? Well, what it means, this is a business model where you don't need to come up with some creative, unique, never been done or proven idea. You don't need to create a product, you don't have to have your own expensive e-commerce website, you don't have to do any of the actual telling and selling, and most importantly, you don't have to do any of the fulfilling. No service to provide, no shipping to pay for, no customer support. Quite simply, find that customer and get paid. It's game changing, especially if you're looking for a business that provides freedom. Never before the internet has there ever been a business model that is just so straightforward to get up and running with so little risk and so easy to get paid. Now, you may be wondering how this actually works. Well, it's actually surprisingly simple. As an affiliate for someone else's product, you will get your own unique web link to promote. Now, this link is exclusive to you, and this link tracks all the sales that your campaigns make back to you. This way, of course, you can get the credit and paid for making the sales that you generate. And this is exactly what I started doing in January 2008. More specifically, I got started with selling digital products such as ebooks, audio courses, downloadable material, and various sort of e-learning offers. And within 2 weeks of getting started, I'd made my first ever online sale, and I've never looked back. And again, here's a quick disclaimer. I'm not at all suggesting this is as easy as 1, 2, 3 overnight riches. There is absolutely a learning curve around this business, and it is not at all a get-rich-quick scheme or for the lazy. In fact, if you are lazy, this is not for you. And whilst I'm not the smartest man in the room, I'm also not lazy. When I want something, I will go for it and I will put in the work, and I hope you're the same. What I will say is that if you commit to learning how to do this properly, I really believe anybody can do this, and the potential is absolutely huge, and it can provide you with utter lifestyle freedom. Plus, I guess, the chance to be lazy down the line if that's what you are indeed after. So as I said earlier, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. There was one key skill I had to learn that brought all this together that I promised I would share with you in this video, and here it is. Are you ready? The skill of online marketing. In other words, learning how to market effectively on the internet. As long as you know how to get people, targeted people I might add, to relevant offers that solve their problems or offer them what they are looking for, you can make an absolute fortune. And here's the thing, even if you have got your own great product or you have a great service that you already offer, you still need to know how to get people to see it. You could have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you won't be making any sales. And online marketing is something most business owners don't know how to do. And they just expect sales to come in because they believe they have a great product or service or a fancy pants website. But leads are the lifeblood of any business. Having the skill of getting customers is the most important skill to have as a profitable business owner. And with today's advertising platforms, we can do it more efficiently, more effectively, and more targeted than what you'd ever believe possible. Take Facebook as an example. Whether you love it or hate it, it's where people are spending their time, and it's a great place to find your ideal customers, almost regardless of what you're selling. And with their insanely powerful advertising platform, you can target people on things like their age, their sex, their location, their interests, what books they might read, whether they're single, married, have kids, all with just a few clicks of the mouse. It's insane, and like I said, never before in history has this been possible. So why would anyone take advice from people who say things like, you can't make money online, it's far too good to be true? No, it's a bloody naive and frankly stupid way to look at it. It is a digital economy, whether you want to admit it or not, and whether you have your head in the sand or not. And this video series is designed to wake people up to the possibilities that are right in front of their noses, and to encourage them to spend the time learning some new skill sets that will transition them away from the sinking, stinking traditional economy and enable them to start building a life on their terms, a digital life. Okay, so something else I promised to share with you was my biggest profit breakthrough, and so that's what I'll now share with you, if you're ready. Are you ready? All right, so when doing the marketing of a product, more specifically the website that offers the product for sale, it's pretty unusual for someone to purchase a product the first time that they actually see it or stumble upon the website. Whether it's just not the right time, or they're in a rush, or maybe they just don't know if they actually really want it enough yet. Now, where most people go wrong when marketing products is that they just let that be the case and most often lose the sale and accept that's kind of how it is. But that is not how it has to be at all. What I discovered and then started doing from around April 2008 is building simple automated marketing systems around my campaigns that meant I was able to continue to follow up with my prospects with total automation, even if they didn't buy the first time they went to my website. And I did this by following a simple formula that ended up 10 timesing my sales. Want to know what that was? All right, here you go. First, I'd find a product to promote. This is something that I teach extensively, by the way, within the tutorials in our members area. Then what I would do is create something of value that I could give away for free to people who I'm targeting in my campaigns. And this is all to get their email address, so I'm exchanging something of value for their email address. Now, an example of this might be a free downloadable report or a free email series or maybe a video that will help my ideal prospect out in a cool way. Here's exactly what I mean. Let's say I was promoting an expert's video course on a writing service or the preparation of the perfect groom speech. I could put together something of value to offer my potential prospects. Let's just say I was planning on targeting engaged men on the Facebook platform and say offering a free guide that reveals the biggest mistakes that grooms make when delivering their speech on the most important day of their life and how to avoid disappointing their bride on her big day and looking stupid in front of their friends and family. You know, something like that would probably work. Now, assuming I wasn't an expert in the topic of what I was promoting, I would usually get the information for my free giveaway, this free guide in this example, by either purchasing the course that I want to sell and then just simply taking ideas from maybe say one of the modules or chapters and then put a simple report or email newsletter together. Or I might just go out and do some of my own research and put something together that way. Then from that report or email series, what I'll do is I will have prepared something that I can give away in exchange for my prospect's email address. And from that, I would then link to the actual offer of what I'm trying to promote with my affiliate link. So if they decide to buy, then of course I'd get the sale and the commission. Another point I can't stress enough is that this is actually all fully automated once it's set up with the use of simple software and things like an autoresponder, which nowadays are extremely easy to set up. Now, the most important thing to understand here is I'm now in a position to continue to email the people, in this instance the future grooms who have subscribed for my information. Maybe they didn't buy, maybe they did. But what I'm able to do is drastically increase my chances of making that sale, maybe at the right time, for example, the week that he's actually writing his speech. But I also have the potential to sell something else related. For example, say a book on Amazon called The Top 10 Honeymoon Destinations in the World, or even better, recommend an online jewellery supplier who offers, I don't know, nice, expensive wedding rings. And remember, there are virtually affiliate programs for every possible product and service you can imagine, both physical and digital products. And most take just a few minutes to get set up with. The other cool thing is the more I promote that free report, that guide, the bigger my email list becomes and the more of an asset that list is to me. If I have, say, 20,000 people on that list, which is going to be held in my autoresponder, then you can imagine how powerful that becomes. I quite literally have the ability with the push of a button to email 20,000 people all at once with more free tips, valuable information, stuff that can help them, and of course, any other related affiliate offers that I think they might be interested in. Then, if I prove that market to be a healthy, profitable one, I could go on to create my own blog or work on being a real authority or resource in that space. Now, that's just an example for the purpose of explaining this huge profit breakthrough. As it turns out, I did actually build a list of prospects in this getting married niche, and to be totally honest with you, it wasn't that profitable for me. Even worse, I realized that once the guys got married, they weren't even, a prospect anymore. The truth is, not every idea you try will work out, but when you get one that does, it's most definitely worth the effort. And the good news is, in our members area, I get much deeper into the most profitable markets, and I also show you how simple it is to set all this stuff up with our online marketing systems too. So don't worry, even if you class yourself as a total technophobe, we will show you how to master this stuff step by step and with real human support. We also give you the opportunity to market our very own products if you want, which are ready to go right out of the box with the most advanced, proven and sophisticated marketing and follow-up processes on the planet, and they're already in place. Plus, you can have the potential to earn some really big commissions into the thousands per product sale, and it's absolutely awesome because this is a great way for you to earn while you learn, if of course you see it as a good fit. So now, before we wrap up, let me just summarize the 3 key insights that are most important in this video. Number 1, if you're going to live a digital life, a life with total geographical freedom and the ability to scale your income, it's essential to pick the right business model to start with. And affiliate marketing done the right way is, in my opinion, the best way to get going. Number 2, the most important skill set that you must learn is how to market effectively online. Whether you already have a business or you're just getting started, your ability to get targeted people to your website or the websites you're promoting will determine the success that you have like no other skill. Master this and you'll master making money online. And number 3, finally, my biggest profit breakthrough. Build an email list of prospects by offering something of value to the audience of people that you're targeting. That way you can follow up with them automatically when they don't buy, and also offer related products that will serve them and make you more money at the same time. So now you have an idea of how it's possible to get started with growing or building your first business online, and how my biggest profit breakthrough is a total game changer when it comes to increasing and scaling your sales. The next question is, what separates the online businesses that make just a few thousand a year and provide, I don't know, maybe just an additional or side income, from the ones that make 6 and even 7 figures a year in profits? And in our third video, we're going to go deeper and I'll explain a concept that I learned from Apple, the most profitable company in the world. And honestly, if you understand this properly, it will enable you to make significantly more money without virtually any extra effort, and provide you with a business that will also offer you a lot more time freedom as well. Okay, so what do you really need to do in order to hit home run in your online business? And what exactly did I learn from Apple, the most profitable company in the world? Join me for our third video and I'll share with you the answers that will most likely blow your mind when you see and understand the potential of this information. Keep an eye out on your inbox. I'll see you very soon.